thing on? Can y'all hear me? It's been such a long time that we've done this. I don't know if I remember how this whole thing works. So let's try this. Oh yeah, welcome to the podcast of champions. This is the Orange and Black Soccer Cast.
Stadium in one large exhale. Trouble. Arozarena feet. Orange County opens the scoring. It's Thomas. Kuninga scores! The old guard with a new trophy.
This is the Orange and Black Soccer Cast, the first and only podcast dedicated to Orange County Soccer Club, its fans, and supporters. Follow us on Twitter at OCSC_SoccerCast or on Facebook at Orange and Black Soccer Cast.
How's it going, Orange County? Welcome to another episode of the Orange and Black Soccer Cast, the first and only podcast dedicated to your Orange County Soccer Club, its fans, and supporters. I'm your host, Ray Samora, and I'm here to take you through this journey as we discuss the season for Orange County Soccer Club, and we actually start grading the players and the team. But before we do that, we got a lot of people to introduce. Let's do this really quick. Let's first go to the original partner of the show, and that's Mr. Dylan. How you doing, Dylan?
I'm doing well. I think my camera might have just disconnected. My camera just disconnected, but I'm doing well, and I'm glad to be back.
Dylan's doing classic style podcasting with no camera work. So anyone that is a longtime follower knows exactly how that is. Next, let's bring on Brad. Brad, how you doing, my man?
I'm doing quite well. Ray, forget the intro. Dylan's camera works out, and my camera's a little bit too high. We're in good form as the no longer former champions.
Yes, we are great form at this. We still get to claim we're the podcast of champions because Logan won the eFootball tournament. So we're still the podcast of champions. Joining us as he's been doing more recently, each and every week, pretty much, is Mr. Larry. Apparently he wasn't feeling well last week, but he looks to be doing better now.
I am doing much better and overjoyed to be here. And if Logan's out there watching, way to represent, kid. Attaboy. So proud of you.
Next, let's bring on long time no see, but it's Taylor. Taylor, how you doing?
I am good. Thank you. Very happy to be back and joining everybody again.
Busy studying law, right?
Absolutely.
And then I believe second time on the show, right? We got Mikey. Mikey, what's up?
Hey, what's up? Thanks for having me on today, guys.
Hey, glad to have a big panel here as we get into grades on a chilly, at least in Southern California, a chilly Tuesday evening. I don't know about y'all, but it's been cold and my heater broke just a couple weeks ago. So we're trying to get that fixed. Not a good time for that. But I'm sure there's people from colder parts of the country that are going to be laughing and say, 50s, 60s. That's not cold, right, Brad?
I'm in Vegas now. It's similar to what you guys
You
did.
came from Reno. So, I mean, you're Reno at heart. Let's do this. We got to talk about a match that happened, seems like months ago at this point now. But it was the friendly against Hamburger that saw Orange County host the German Bundesliga 2 team at Championship Soccer Stadium. Just out of curiosity, how many of y'all were at that match?
I was.
So we got Larry, Taylor, and Mikey. And I believe our producer, Andy, was there as well. So I'm going to go. Let's go, Larry, you first. Thoughts on just the match? We're going to do quick thoughts on this because we got to get to player grades. Quick thoughts on the match against Hamburger.
The atmosphere was awesome. There was a lot of German fans there, and they were having a good time. And you know what? You could see the boys were out there having a lot of fun. A bunch of kids got to get some play time. We got to get some goodbyes in to Patrick and to Miko and to some other guys. You know, it was a good night. It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. I was back up with the CLC for literally the only time this season. And yeah, just really enjoyed it. It was a great atmosphere. I hope we do more of those in the future.
And Taylor, Larry mentioned, got to say some goodbyes. And we all know that you were a huge Patrick Rakowski fan. Did you get to say goodbye to the man himself that pretty much saved us, saved the game in Tampa for the championship?
I didn't get to personally say it that night, but I know that he was busy and I saw him doing his rounds, so I didn't want to go and interrupt him. But it was super emotional when him and Kuningas went off. We when we first went to first game, we called Kuningas Fancy Feet because like we didn't know their names yet of any of the players, and like so that's just kind of like stuck. And he was like one of the first players that like made a big impression on us. So like it's kind of crazy to like watch him like clapping and like looking back one last time and then walking off the field. Like it was crazy, but I'd echo everything that was said beforehand. It was really great atmosphere. I honestly didn't pay too much attention to the game, like how they were playing, just like enjoying like soccer for soccer's sake, as opposed to evaluating plays.
And Mikey, let's get your thoughts on this. Taylor mentioned Mikko Kuningas is one of those players. I know he's a huge fan favorite, especially of Caroline Coalition. I think Mikko's the reason why Caroline Coalition made it a mission to find a good Social D reference for some songs and stuff like that with that connection. How are your feelings with, players like Rakovsky, Mikko Kuningas, Orozco, and a few Ugo heading out the door after some time with Orange County?
It's pretty sad. We spent a lot of time with those guys. We went out to Florida and we saw them win. We even got to party with them. So like we got to like experience them, hang out, see them drunk too, which was great. So watching them leave was definitely sad. They're gone, so it's definitely a heartbreak.
And your thoughts on the match against Hamburger and just the atmosphere, and do you think Orange County won over some of those German fans that maybe it was their first time checking out local soccer here in Orange County?
There was a lot of people at that game. I saw a lot of German fans, a lot of them. I hope we won them. I doubt it because it wasn't that like the beer garden and the beer fest. There wasn't none. It was just a trailer giving out small little beers about like this big.
But they did have a polka band.
Hey, well, you can't go wrong with a polka band, right? Dylan, Mikey mentioned the Florida experience with some of these players. I know you were a huge part of that. You're famous for being shirtless on the ESPN stream.
Hell yeah.
I know you didn't go to the match and see this match against Hamburg, but I'm sure you've followed it. You possibly watched it on ESPN Plus, which was amazing to have it on there, by the way. Thoughts on the match and the players that are heading out the door?
I don't have a lot to offer on the match. Nice. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like 5 or 6 beers deep, so he's out of shape.
With a fanny pack on. That's the best part of it.
That's a nice little paunch I got going on. Yeah. It's disappointing to see the back of Patrick Rakovsky, and it's disappointing to see the back of Mikko, and to see the back of Michael Orozco as well. I will forever think that Patrick Rakovsky is an Orange County legend, because if he doesn't save that penalty, it's game over. I don't care if it was 19 minutes and that's the end of the game. Tampa so many times in 2021, 1-0, set up shop, good to go, score another while teams trying to push. Instead, I mean, Mike Watts said it best. The air leaves Allianz Stadium.
The delightful save to be.
Wow. I mean, he was absolutely right. You could feel the energy switch. And Mikko's free kick to put that game on ice. I mean, going into the half with 3 goals, which we basically never do under Chaplow, was incredible. Those two and Michael Roscoe developing Kobe Henry and every other young player on the team, in addition to being a pretty damn good defender. It's a pretty big bummer. I know in 2019 I was pretty sad when we lost some of our fan favorite players, and it took a couple years to get some of those kind of players back, and that kind of we're just rewatching the penalty save and I'm like, oh my god, I can remember every bit of it. It took time, I think, because of COVID to really develop that kind of relationship with players again, as a fan. And I'm gonna miss those guys because it was it was really special. Everyone involved in that team, and especially everyone involved that night, was just damn near perfect.
Dylan's tearing up as he's talking here, folks. Really quick, I'm gonna go to you, Brad. 10-word recap of that match and those players, because Dylan took all your time.
I did not watch much. Sorry about that.
All right. Did he get it? I don't know. He was within the boundaries there. All right, folks, we've got a lot to do here. We've got 2 episodes to do player grades for what? 29-ish players plus the coaching staff if we get that far. So here's how it's going to work. We started last episode. I almost said last week, but that was like a month ago, with just like the bottom like 3 or 4 players. We're basically going in reverse order of minutes played. So we already graded Rob Kiernan, Jonathan Gomez, Hassan Nadam, and Nicholas Ruiz. I believe that's where we left off. So I think our next spot that we're going to get to is Bryce Jamerson. I'm going to let Mikey, Taylor, no, I shared a link in our conversations here to the sheet that we're looking at. You should be able to access it. So you can see some of the stats of these players, because we're going to want to know what you all think of these players as well. So let's get to Bryce Jamerson. Played with Orange County in 4 matches, about a little over 100 minutes on the season, but he did have a goal to his name for the season. That's pretty cool. I'm going to go to Dylan first. I know you already took a long time talking about the match in Tampa, but we got to do this quickly, folks. So try not to linger on too long. A grade and a quick reason why you're giving that grade for Bryce Jamerson, Dylan.
Yeah, I know. Look, I know he only played 106 minutes, but I'm going to give him a B because he was a bright, energetic note. And I'm excited to see what the future is for him. I know it's a small sample size, but the highest goals per 90 of the entire team. So I think there's something of a rough cut diamond in there, but a diamond nonetheless. And hell, as we saw, if someone can have a season like Milan did, or even if this is just another Ronaldo Damas-esque character, we have a good future to look forward to.
Perfect. Let's go to Taylor.
Yeah, I would probably can we give minuses in here? Like pluses and minuses?
Yeah. There's no rhyme or reason to the grade. You can come up with your own grading system if you want, Taylor. That's the way this has always worked.
Oh, okay, perfect. I see. I've not done this part. So I'd probably give him like a B minus in there. I mean, he's young, so it's not as if he's gonna come on and be, like A plus. He's 16, right? Or just turned 17, one of the two. But his goal, like, it was cool, calm, collected, and we have a lot of players that wouldn't have taken that shot that he did, and I think that's what puts him up there. And it's not like we have a big sample size like was mentioned to really judge him on, so that'll keep him up there for me.
So let me teach you how this works, Taylor. I'm giving Bryce an F, ladies and gentlemen. I'm giving him an F. F for future. He is a future star in the making, so he gets that grade of F from me. Mikey, you looked like you were about to pass out from that grade. That's how it works. So there's no rules to the grades. You can create your own grading system here. Mikey, what's your grade for Bryce?
I would say a B plus, because he went abroad and represented the U.S. and that's great for us. And yeah.
There we go. Simple and sweet. I love it, Mikey. I love the simple and sweet answer there. Brad, your grade for Bryce.
I'm going to agree with Taylor on this one. I'm going to say a B minus. The kid joined late in the season. He did enough to get re-signed for next year. What else can you say? The kid's talented. He's going to have a future.
And by the way, for those of you watching live, you can participate in this. Share your grades as we go through these players, what you think their grades are for the season. And our producer will definitely pop them up on the screen. Give a reason, justification for the grade too. We'd love to hear why you think. Larry, your thoughts on Bryce for the season, grade for him.
So fast. Him and Correa are lightning fast. I am actually giving Bryce an A. I am giving him an A because he scored his first goal moments after I predicted he was about to score his first goal. Bryce gets an A from me.
But do we have proof of that? Have we ever gotten proof of that you actually predicted?
I can bring Carrie in the room and she can tell you how I leaped out of my chair.
That's
I can bring her, but we don't have time for her. So let's go.
There we go. And our producer Andy sharing I guess a rumor that another team wanted him for next season, but we're keeping him. We want him. He's ours. Next up is a player that came to this team with some big hopes from the fans as sort of that replacement for players like a Kevin Alston or Nathan Smith or something like that in the defense, and that was Danilo Acosta. But unfortunately, an injury derailed his short time with us here. He played in 5 matches, 138 minutes. Nothing to show on the score sheet as far as goals or anything, like that, but he did pick up 1 yellow card. So let's go through this. I'm going to go to you first, Brad. Your grade for Danilo Acosta. Oh yeah, I already gave my grade for Bryce. I forgot. I went out of order there. Brad, Danilo. He's muted, folks. Just like Brad,
ACL, just like me. ACL, as in he tore it. Hopefully, if we do see him back next season, he's healthy and ready to go.
Let's go to Larry.
For Danny, I am giving him an incomplete B. He's getting an incomplete because we didn't see enough. He is getting a B because of that magnificent hair.
So you're giving him a grade specifically for the hair. All right, I like it.
He's got great hair. Come on,
Dylan. Your grade for Acosta.
I gotta give him an incomplete here. Bummer to do his ACL at 24, but yeah, maybe he's got something left.
Let's go to Taylor.
I think what is it? What is that ungraded? We'll give him that. But I do recall believing that he was super solid in those games. But yeah. I mean, that could all have changed. So I'm gonna give him that U.
Mikey.
I'm gonna go with Larry here. That hair though, but I'm gonna give it a grade, an L for that long, beautiful hair. Hell yeah.
You are just loving Danny Acosta's hair there. I don't know what grade I want to give him. I'm trying to be creative with this, but I just can't think right now. But I'm going to give him sort of an H. I'm going to give him an H.
For hair?
Because for hair, that's a good one, right? No. Although it sucks that he got injured, his injury sort of helped us experience the season we saw from another player that sort of plays in a similar position, Alex Villanueva. I think with Acosta at full strength all season, we don't see the Alex Villanueva we got to see throughout 2022, which we'll get to that guy's grade. So I'm going to just give him an H because it sort of helped out in seeing Alex Villanueva for the future here. Next up on the list, we've got Ashton Miles, who made he was sort of a late mid-season signing to the team, I believe, from the youth academy, if I'm correct. Maybe I'm not. Who knows? But the youngster got a couple of appearances, actually started in both of his appearances for Orange County and played 145 minutes in those. So he played the full match for Orange County in his 2 matches. And the cool thing about that, 2 matches and 2 yellow cards. So he's 100% for yellow cards in his career at this point with Orange County. Let's go to Taylor. You get to go first for Ashton Miles. What's your thought?
Man, I don't understand the thought process of not playing him more after how he played. I was very impressed. And I just think he was kind of stellar. And I know it was just those 2 games, but for his 2 games, I will give him an A. As a total, obviously I can't do that. But for those 2 games, he gets an A from me.
It's because we were so stacked at that center defense position. There was just no minutes available for him, if you recall there. Dylan, your grade for Ashton?
Incomplete, but I think if you let him play 20 matches, he's going to figure it out. He'll get through a rough patch, but he'll figure it out. This is, another Kobe Henry situation, I think, and hopefully we're a little bit better next year so we can really see what he can do.
Let's go with you, Larry.
I am also giving him an incomplete, and I'm embarrassed to say that for the 2 games that he played, I did not pay attention to the kid. I went back and watched a little bit of where he did play, and yeah, Dylan had it right. There's some Kobe Henry-esque brewing with this kid, but I'm still giving him an incomplete.
Mikey.
I'll give him a B. The game against Pittsburgh, I was watching it. I don't know if it was the beers or other things that I was participating in, but I thought he had a pretty good game.
Awesome. I'm going to sort of agree with you, Dylan. I think you're the one that mentioned this. I'm going to give him a grade of KH. This is Kobe Henry 2.0, I think opportunity for Orange County, an opportunity to develop a young rising American center defensive player. And we saw what happened with Kobe Henry. He got a few appearances here and there as a youngster and then hit a season where he got a lot more minutes and built him up to a nice little sail out there to Rennes in, I believe it's France. Is that the country? What we call the country, France? So I think he's showing some bright spots there, and it's exciting to see what he's going to do for Orange County. Brad, Ashton.
I can't really add anything else on for Ashton Miles. I mean, he's definitely a Kobe kid. Hopefully they can make something out of him next season. He's young and he signed a professional deal from the academy squad for a reason.
Yes, definitely. Let's move on. Next up on the list is probably a youngster that I don't think anyone was expecting to make 10 appearances for Orange County in 2022. 2 of those appearances were starts, 261 minutes, and that is not the name that I have on my list. Oh, you know what? That is no, we can go there. Let's go back. There we go. I don't know why the minutes are off on what I'm looking at, but yeah, that is the correct order. So we're going to go 5 appearances, 3 starts. Ahmed Longmire. I'm going to go first on the grading on here. I'm giving him an F-. I nothing against him. I think he just got thrown in at the wrong time, the wrong situation, and just the ball didn't bounce correctly for him. But I believe a straight red card in one match, a couple other matches where he was the direct result, almost Albie Skendi-esque, a direct result of some goals. So he only made 5 appearances, and I think in every single match, I think each and every one of us can go back and look at, there was very major negatives of the way he impacted the match. Nothing against Longmire. I'm sure he's a great guy, a good player. It just sort of, he came out here and it just did not work, and it actually stunk up the place for a moment there. So I'm going F-. Sorry, Ahmed Longmire, if you listen or watch the show, listen to the show. I apologize for being harsh on you. It's not mostly about you. It's just about the whole situation you were in. Mikey, go for it.
I give him a B for boxing.
You talking about, like, was it the day after Christmas for the people in England and Canada? Is that what you're talking about, right?
Oh no, when he boxed what was it, Kyle Vassell in San Diego?
I knew what you were talking about, Mikey. I just trying to be funny, I guess. Brad, you're up next.
He was bad. Definitely a wrong loan at the right time. We needed someone, and the team thought he could fill in the space, but he never really actually was successful at that, I feel. I'll give him a D.
Let's go to Taylor.
E for empty, like at any space that he was in, like he just let anything go through. It was just not, like, I don't doubt that he can be a good player. He just cannot, or did not seem to be a good player for us.
Let's go to Dylan. Dylan, you're next.
I gotta give him an F for having a really bad game against Louisville and a really bad game against San Diego. I think there's quality in there, and we just, no one in our defense this year was going to look good, but certainly expected him to look at least capable, which he didn't manage.
Larry.
F-, Ray. Come on. Homeboy threw hands with Kyle freaking Vassell.
That's the only reason he didn't get a third minus. That is the only reason he didn't get a third minus, is because of that.
A++. Let's go.
The only reason he didn't get that third minus was because he went toe to toe with, and honestly, I think if you go back and watch or listen or watch it, whatever you want to do on this, I think I said he probably should not have gotten a red card on that. It really wasn't his fault. What do you expect a player to do in that situation? But it just, bad thing after bad thing after bad thing. Again, I said it, not really his fault. It just, the ball did not bounce right for him in his short time with Orange County. All right, let's move on. Who's up next? I don't want to mess this up. So producer, switch the sheet. Let's see who we got here. Let's be surprised. Oh, there we go. The guy I was talking about before. 10 appearances, 2 starts, 261 minutes for Ivan Gutierrez. Mikey, your thoughts? What did Ivan? He did have an assist and he did have a yellow card on the season.
I'd give him a C. A good solid C. He had some. I really don't remember much, but he had a pretty good solid season.
Hey, that is the perfect definition of a C, right? I don't really remember much, but that really means he didn't do anything great. He didn't do anything too bad if you don't remember much, right, Taylor? You mean you're still going through the whole schooling stuff, so you know what that means.
Absolutely. And I mean, like, I'm gonna have to give exactly the same grade here. Like, I do not have any recollection of like of this kid, like, at all. Like, I couldn't tell you any plays he made.
Brad, do you remember anything Ivan Gutierrez did? And do you remember him making 10 appearances for the club?
When I saw this and it said 10, I was extremely surprised. I also got to give a C. I don't remember him on the team pretty much at all.
Larry.
You know what? I paid a little bit of attention to Ivan, and I liked what I saw out of him. We didn't see enough, so I am going with the consensus as well. Straight C.
Who hasn't gone yet? I guess Dylan. What is your grade?
We give him a C plus. Statistically, he was about as average as. I mean, like you guys are literally going to remember him playing. So I had to go and look at the matches he played in. Statistically, C. But we got a little bit of money for him, so we're going to go C plus. Why not?
I'm gonna go W. You know, it's for who, because although he made 10 appearances, 2 starts, I really, like the rest of you, do not really remember Ivan Gutierrez for Orange County this season. So I'm a little stuck on that. Let's move on. Next up, we've got, I believe it's Mr. Kyle Scott, who joined the team mid-season with this touting that he was in the Chelsea youth program or he was with Chelsea at some point. Came in, 8 appearances, 2 starts, 298 minutes. He did have a whopping 5 yellow cards in those appearances with no goals, no assists. So I'm going to go with this. I'm going to give him an A for being aggressive out there. 5 yellow cards in 8 matches with Orange County. That's a pretty big number. I think if you look at the stats, like he's in the top 5 for the team or something like that for yellow cards in those 8 matches. I like an aggressive player. I like someone that goes and just sort of is going full out, maybe being a little bit reckless, but not being like reckless to the point of injuring someone, but like just sort of making some challenges and being tough out there. And apparently he did that with 5 yellow cards. So I'm gonna just give him that. That's my grade for him. Taylor, you get to go next.
Sounds good. I think his attitude, like on and off the field, from what I've seen, is a little too much. I think if he gets to dial that back a little and like focus on the play some more, then I think he could really probably improve his grade. But for me, like where he's sitting is probably like a C minus D.
All right, Mikey, you're in the middle of a drink, so I'm going to go to you.
I would say a B. Like how you said, he was aggressive. He came out guns blazing, just for a few games, but pretty good, pretty solid.
Larry, you get to go next, and I'm going to give you a bonus, Larry. You get to explain like what's going on in Kyle Scott's head on that picture we have on the screen too.
Absolutely nothing.
Is that your grade as well?
No. I have a good grade. I really liked Kyle. I liked what we saw out of him. I hope that they bring him back. I would give him a B plus, but I think a little bit overly aggressive. Those five yellow cards in 8 games is a whole bunch for a 5'7", 140-pound midfielder. Dial it back a notch, kid, and you're a solid player. I hope they bring him back. I'm giving him a B.
Let's go to Dylan.
I gotta give him a C minus. A lot of those, or a couple of those yellow cards, were just needless, dumb fouls to be giving away. We're looking at like a multi-game suspension if he's playing through a full season. And despite all the touting about how he was a Chelsea youth product, and a member of the Newcastle U23s, he did nothing in Cincinnati and took quite a while to get going at even this level. So I particularly was not impressed.
Brad, you get to wrap things up on Kyle Scott.
Yeah, the thing I have to say most about him is he's kind of the opposite of Correde Osaduna. He's a product with a lot of hype, and Correde, I feel like, and we'll get to him later, but more lived up to it or to my expectation of the young talent. And Kyle Scott's kind of like a Freddie Adu, and he's a little bit older and kind of leveled off. I'm going to give him a C plus. I think he is talented, and I don't quite know what his purpose on the team was at times, but he definitely was aggressive and played with a lot of heart.
What his purpose was to take Tommy McCabe's minutes, right? I mean, that sort of seems like the role he was playing this season, which who knows? Let's move on. Next up is the man who moved to France mid-season when we really needed central defensive players on the roster, but we still sold them anyways because, hey, he's worth some money and a team wanted him, and that's what you do when you're a selling team. It's Mr. Kobe Henry. Kobe Henry had 5 appearances, 5 starts, 430 minutes for the club. Nothing. Well, he did have a goal, so I don't know why my stats show nothing, but he did. We do know he had at least 1 goal because he had that banger volley before he was sold. Kobe Henry's great. Let's go to Larry. I don't feel like you've gone first that often. So Larry, you get to go first.
Kobe showed a lot of, in the 5 games that he was here, he showed a lot of maturity versus where he was last year. There's definitely a ton of upside to Kobe. The 4 yellow cards in 5 games, a little bit of immaturity, but his overall play was so much better. I'm giving him a solid B+.
Let's go to Mikey.
I would say his grade would be money signs for sure.
I feel like Mikey was reading my thoughts or just seeing that in my eyes because that was exactly what I was thinking of doing. So now I have to think of something whole new thing there for Kobe Henry's grade. Taylor, what's your grade for Kobe Henry?
I'm gonna have to give him an A. I mean, how can you not? He's bringing it, has all that money, that banger of a goal. Like I think it was like one of the first episodes I was on for the podcast, and I was like, that's the goal of the season. If we were counting the Open Cup, but I forgot that it was Open Cup until now. So A for me. There we go.
Dylan, your grade.
I'm gonna give him a B+ for that goal, and for he gets a big boost on, given what the other occupants of his position managed. He in comparison looks like the world's greatest defender.
I was gonna say you could sort of say he may have been our best defender of 2022, and he only made 5 appearances for the club, which is that's sort of sad for the rest of the team, but good for Kobe. Brad, your grade for Kobe Henry in 2022?
I'm gonna give it incomplete. I love Kobe, but
you didn't see enough of Kobe. You didn't see enough to give him a good grade, huh?
I don't get the French League One in my ESPN Plus subscription, so I didn't really get to watch many games that he played in the season. No, Kobe Henry is gonna go down.
He's like on their reserve team, Brad. He's on their reserve team, so you got to look for that.
Oh, even better. No, he's a legend in his own right, and I'm glad I got to see him play when he was here. And hopefully he continues to do good things, and I'll be able to say in the future, hey, I got to interview a U.S. men's national team, person.
You may get there someday, right? He's trending to be at that spot where he'll get to maybe make an appearance for the senior team, an actual appearance and play, not just get called up. For my grade, you guys can help me out. I got to think of what we're going to call this, but I'm going to give him a grade of C with an equal sign over it. I don't know what we can call that. But I'm thinking something like, we'll call him, we'll give him a grade of like a Euro symbol because he's getting that European money at this point. And I'm sure there's some sort of transaction. Rennes didn't pay in dollars; they paid in euros, and somehow it switched to dollars when it got into James Keston's hands. So we're going to give him that grade of euro dollar or euro sign. There we go. Dylan's like, I got to know what's going on in your head right now, Dylan, because you're just like laughing. What's up, Dylan?
I'm just really enjoying how you spun yourself that web of reasoning.
Well, you know what's funny is when I asked you guys to help me come up with a name for a C with an equal sign on it, each and every one of you had this like puzzled look on your in your face, like, what is that? How would we explain that?
Sideways.
Like each and every one of you did. I watched you all, so it is true. It's on tape, so we have that if you guys are going to dispute that. Ooh, we're moving through these pretty good. This is, I think, the quickest we've gone through grades ever. It's probably because we don't have Alan on here to give a 10-minute soliloquy on each and every player when we ask for the grades. By the way, is anyone checked in on Alan to make sure he's okay? Well, hopefully you're okay, Alan. Let's move on.
Crickets.
Osudina is next. Ooh, this is one of those really bright young players that joined the team. Came over, I believe, from like FC Tucson or something like that, or no, Barca Academy in Phoenix. I knew it was something to do with Arizona. But he made 19 appearances, 5 starts, 517 minutes. I'm showing 3 assists, 3 yellow cards, and maybe the second fastest player on the team, right, Larry? Your grades for Osudina, Larry.
Yeah, that was the thing that I wrote. Just so freaking fast and fun. I was on my best day. I've never been fast, not even downhill with a wind at my back. So seeing people who can move like that always impresses the hell out of me. Also, team leader in assists per 90 minutes. That's impressive for the young man. I'm excited to see what else he can do. I am giving him a solid B.
Solid B. Dylan, what's your grade for Correde? Correde? How do you say his name?
I also got to give him a... Check it.
What's his name, Dylan? How do you say his name, Dylan?
I believe it's Correde from what I've heard 100 times, but that also doesn't mean anything. Remember, it was Frederick Dew all those years.
Due.
Yeah. I'm going to give him a B. Statistically, he did a lot in a team that offered very little, and he's so young, so I'm excited to see what happens in the future.
I'm glad you got to finally talk, Dylan. Brad, your grade.
Gotta check if I'm unmuted. Okay, good. I alluded to this earlier. I'm going to give him a B, and the only reason it's not an A, I think he has all the talent in the world, and I think he's an impressive player who's fast and can make a player miss, is he played 19 games and had 0 goals. And he's definitely talented, and he's definitely going to start scoring for Orange County next season, but he hasn't done it yet.
All right, Mikey.
I 100% agree with Brad, word for word.
What does Brad say?
100% agrees with Brad, so apparently he agrees completely with you, Brad. Taylor, your thoughts on Osudina and his grade for the season?
He is absolutely a diamond in the rough. He is incredibly fast. And he's going to have to get an A- from me because he is also my son's like favorite at the moment on the team. Like he loves him and thinks he's fantastic. He was at the OCSC soccer camp last week, and Osudino's there, and he signed his ball, and now no one's allowed to touch the ball. It needs to go away now. So he gets an A- for all that.
I think I'm giving him a grade of F also for future. He's a future star in the making here, if not already a star for this team. I think he's someone that's given now a full season with Orange County. Next season is his chance to break out and shine for the team, and hopefully he does and gives us something to cheer for, and maybe hits the back of the net a few times next season, which would be pretty awesome. proof concept here that, the fact that we've sold some of these younger players off to other teams, we now are bringing in some of these young talented players that want to play for Orange County because they see what kind of opportunities that opens up for them. Let's move on to the next on the list. When we did our Playing for Pride draft, I think no one was really thinking Colin Shuttler would do much, but somehow, some way he got some appearances. I believe it's because Patrick Rakowski got injured and then got COVID. Probably made 5 or so more appearances than maybe would have been expected on the season, but he made 7 appearances, 7 starts, 630 minutes. Didn't score any goals, apparently, per our stats. Didn't get any assists either, but also did not get any cards. Oh, wait, no, he did get a card. He got a yellow card. So, hey, he got on the sheet there. Colin Shuttler. I'm going to go first on this one. I'm going to give a grade of an S for surprise. I was honestly coming into the season thinking he's not going to play a minute because Rakowski's going to just man that goal and not give up any minutes there. But obviously it's good to have a goalkeeper behind that you can sort of trust. And from what we saw, I'm going to say this. First couple of starts looked a little shaky, probably had some nerves going on. Definitely did not have the handles that you want of a starting goalkeeper. But I think when even though he couldn't hold on to the ball that well, he was still making key saves and big saves. And that's where he gets some good experience and good fan love because he at least made the saves. So I'm going to give him the S grade of a surprise player for that. Taylor, you get to go next.
Sounds good. I will give him a 7.7. I was like, I'm a
That's a pretty strong earthquake, Taylor. That's a pretty strong earthquake.
Yeah, I'm a Rakowski fan through and through, but I cannot say that he performed poorly. Of course, he was shaky, but he also had 0 minutes going into this and is coming like into the shadows of Rakowski. Like that's huge amounts of pressure on like such an important position. Like his mess up is that's it. You know what I mean? So I think he did really good for the position that he was in. So that's why I'm going to give him that. And I don't know if he's confirmed to be staying with us for next season. I haven't seen anything, I don't think, but if he's with us for next season, I think we'll be doing all right once he gets like into the swing of things.
Yeah, I don't think we've heard anything officially on what players are returning. We know what players are leaving, but I don't think there's been any official words on returning players. Larry, your thoughts and grade for Colin Shuttler.
Colin got a little bit better with every single start that he was out there. There was no wow factor to him. Liked him. He was super shaky to start. I'm giving him a C.
All right, Mikey.
I'll give him a C. He had some pretty good saves. We didn't see much, but he had some pretty good games.
Brad.
I just remember during Playing for Pride when he just kept earning start over start. We were sitting here talking, maybe he's winning the starting job. He was playing well enough. Nope, turns out Rakowski had his veterans rest period and then got COVID. But you could have fooled us. I thought he played quite well in the games that he was in, made some good saves. Wasn't the reason we lost any of those games. I'll give him a good B.
Dylan.
I'm going to give him a C. Watching that goal go through his hands was incredibly painful, but he's young, and I think it takes time. So, he's not going to light the world like Ronaldo Damas. Maybe with a full season under his belt, we watch him turn into one of the best players in the league.
Well, and here's the thing, right? With Rakowski gone, he sort of has that position unless we bring someone in. We're at least not worried that we have like no experience in goalkeeper. We have someone at least we've seen and we know can at least do the job. Maybe we'll probably all agree he's not a world-class goalkeeper, but he's also not someone that you're looking at like, damn, we're going to just suck in goal this season because we have Colin Shuttler in goal coming into the season with no other players at this point. So that's at least a good way to look at it. Let's move on. We're getting to some of the players that played bigger minutes. One of those is Mr. Tommy McCabe. Played 24 appeared in 24 matches, 8 starts, almost 1,000 minutes, 962 to be exact. But only 1 goal in those, but you don't expect much from Tommy McCabe as far as goals. He's more that moving the ball from the defense to the attacking side of the field or pitch or whatever we call it. Mikey, your grade for Tommy McCabe.
I would say B. He played a lot. He had some pretty good defensive plays. He kicked ass. Sad to see him leave.
There we go. Sad to see him leave is the way we're going to wrap that up. Brad, you get to go next.
As the ultimate Tommy McCabe stan on this show, I have his jersey in my closet, and I really thought highly of him during our run to the championship in 21. I was disappointed with his season this year. It seemed like going into the season, it was his job to lose in the midfield, and then he was replaced by anyone with a heartbeat. I thought he's a much better player than he showed this season. I'm going to give him a C-. I just thought we would see more of him, and he gets less minutes than the likes of Shauna Coley and almost as much as Mikko Kuningas, who was hurt for like 70% of the season.
I'm going to give him a grade of U. Unfair. I think if the club would have just kept Dylan Powers to start the season, Tommy McCabe has a better season, because we saw that partnership with Dylan Powers and Tommy McCabe last season blossom into a really good central midfield partnership for the team. And just, I think the loss of Dylan Powers and of the other guy that left, what was his name in the midfield? What was it?
Calvillo?
Eric.
Calvillo. I think losing both of those players to start the season really hurt Tommy McCabe, because those three players actually really meshed really well together in the center midfield there, and it just hurt. And McCabe just couldn't figure out his place with some of these other players like Danny Peterson that got thrust into that role. Taylor, you get to go. Tommy McCabe.
Yeah, I just felt like something was missing, like on his end, and like maybe like surrounding him. I thought Tommy McCabe done like fantastic last year, and it just like wasn't quite there this year. But I don't think it was all him. I know like a bad worksman blames his tools or whatever, but I just feel like he needed some more of, like the other players that he did gel with around him to be able to perform. And so I think I'll probably give him like a C, but I want to give him more, but I think I need to fairly give him a C.
Dylan, Tommy McCabe.
I'll give him a C+. I thought he deserved more. I really like the comment about literally anyone with a heartbeat playing in front of them. I think he was a casualty of us not having a fit Mikko or a Eric Calvillo-esque player next to him or by him to kind of do the offensive side of the work.
Larry.
He played so little after playing so much last year, and I enjoyed Tommy a lot last year and watching him play. This year, even when he was on the pitch, he did not seem inspired, and it could be the matchups that he was with on the pitch at the time. I'm giving Tommy a C-.
Maybe he was just looking forward to his trip to Qatar and to go watch the
glad he's enjoying
the World Cup, right?
Could be.
He's enjoying his time out there. What's the next player we're going to look at here? We're going to look at two more players before we wrap up this episode. That's going to be Mr. Brian Olowski. I guess we can say the lesser of the two Olowskis on the team, at least the way the season went this year. Although I know we all love it. Sorry, Taylor, for boring you with talking about Brian Olowski here.
You need to take that back. You can't say the lesser of the two. That is just because one scored more goals. No, like Brian was every bit as relevant as an important. Like he gets an A, a 10 out of 10 for me.
I'm just saying, like, statistically and playing time and whatnot. I mean, Milan sort of stole the show this season, and I'm sorry, you can't have them both equal. One of them was better than the other, and this season it was Milan Olowski. Now, hey, they're brothers, so maybe there's this brotherly rivalry. Maybe they'll push each other, and if they're both back next season, it's going to push Brian to be better. Taylor, go with your grade, I guess.
Yeah, 10 out of 10, A+ for me. Like I just think, like Brian is like great. I just think he has so much like influence on how the game is played. I know you can't talk about Brian or you can't talk about Orlovsky without talking about the other one, no matter which way. But like, I just think both of them are fantastic and make such an impact on everything. And you can tell when one of them or neither of them are on the field.
Larry, you were in agreement with Taylor there, so I'll let you go next.
Absolutely in agreement with Taylor. Brian Orlovsky, when he came back, the heavens opened, the angels sang. Team leader in goals plus minutes, goals plus assists per 90 minutes. I would shave my beard and my chest to get a combined 5,000 minutes from Brian and Milan next year. I know it's not going to happen, but if it does, I will shave my beard and my chest, and I will.
All right, so we're putting this on record.
5,000 minutes combined.
With just the two brothers, or any brother Orlovsky?
No. Brian and Milan. I don't know how Eric is, so I got that. Yes, Carrie is going to leave. Dylan, you are correct. Losing, I firmly believe this. I have said this for many, many months. Losing Brian for the greater part of the season is a huge, huge reason why we stunk this year. If we have Orlovsky and Orlovsky for 5,000 minutes this year, we are a different team. Period. End of story. Nothing more to say. Oh, except his grade. A freaking plus.
You got to bring in the law firm of Orlovsky and Orlovsky next season. Got to bring them back. We will share this tape with the Orlovsky brothers if they return next season to make sure that they are both healthy and that they both play max minutes. We'll send it to Chaplow, because I know Chaplow would love to see you lose your facial hair there, Mr. Larry. We'll make sure this happens. If they're both back, we will make sure this happens. Mikey, what's your grade for Brian Orlovsky?
I would say an A. It sucked that we didn't see him for like the first half of the season, but when he came back fucking solid.
Oh, let's mark that for language, folks. No, I'm just
sorry.
It's all good. No one pays attention to us anyway, so we can leave this as is, and no one's going to give us any kind of report for foul language. Dylan, your grade on Brian Orlovsky.
I want to give him a B+. I want to give him a lot of credit for making his way back from a pretty major injury and for being very impressive in the little time that we got. I mean, 14 matches, but being impressive. And I do always have to laugh because I do remember him taking an effort on his left foot, drawing the ire of Kubo. Despite the fact that it was definitely Brian's ball to be shooting. Long live the Orlovsky brothers, guys. That's all I'm going to say.
Oh, there we go. I don't know if we lost Brad, so I'll just give my grade at this point. I'm going to give him an A. I thought the time we saw of him was amazing. Nothing against him, though. I just think the other Orlovsky just had the better season. So that's the whole reason I say lesser of the two Orlovskys. I mean, Brian was amazing, but he did not put up the numbers and didn't have, even when he was back, he didn't perform at the level of Milan Orlovsky. So he was, even if it was just by a hair, he was still the lesser of the two Orlovskys. I'm sorry, Taylor. I know you're upset with me on that. I know you're ready to just like kick the living crap out of me, but
I won't be back anymore after this.
We can't be friends.
Am I really kicking you? Am I really getting you to want to leave the show because I'm saying Brian was the lesser of the two Orlovskys? Milan Orlovsky was world class for this club, this team. Brian Orlovsky was world class minus 0.1%.
Right, but I don't know. I just feel like just because they have the same last name, you can't go, oh, he's the lesser one. Like he in his own right was absolutely fantastic, because then it would be like absolutely everybody on the team was the lesser of compared to Milan.
Everyone else on the team was the lesser of Milan Orlovsky. That you made my point there, Taylor. Thank you so much for doing so. Okay. Let's move on to our next player. Last one of the night, Mr. Hunter Gorski. I didn't even remember this guy played for Orange County. I had to look him up when we were getting to this point. Hunter Gorski played 12 matches, 9 starts, right? He was a central defender, and we said bye-bye when we needed central defenders. So who knows what the hell happened there. Taylor, I'll let you go first on this one, because I think you're I see the smoke coming out of your ears, coming off your head there. You're ready to just like explode with my comments.
No, I mean with this one, I would have to agree. It's gonna be the same as I can't. Was it Ivan Gutierrez? Same as him. I don't remember anything about him, so I'm gonna give him. Well, he played less. Oh no, he played more. So I'll give him a C instead of a C minus because, I mean, clearly nothing horrendous comes to mind either. So.
All right, perfect. Dylan, your grade for Hunter Gorski.
I'm gonna give him a D. Maybe that's I'm gonna give him a D plus. I think I might be a little harsh on him, but he was equally another weak link in the back line. But good on him because he left us and ultimately ended up beating us with Monterey Bay a couple months later. So I guess it worked out for him in the end.
All right, here's my grade. ABBM. Apparently better than Blake Malone is my grade there because he apparently was better, at least at the beginning of the season, got the minutes. They both sort of left at the same time, but one left with what did Gorski play? He played 12 matches with us. The other one played 0 matches with us, so we didn't grade him. So there we go. There's the grade there. Larry, your grade for Hunter Gorski.
Hunter had a beautiful smile. I have nothing else to say about Hunter Gorski. He was here and he played. He was on the pitch. I got nothing. I don't know. We'll give him a BS for a beautiful smile.
There we go. Mikey, you're great for Hunter Gorski.
A big question mark.
A big one.
Big one.
Like how big? Like, give me measurements.
Like 10 feet tall.
10-foot tall question mark for Hunter Gorski. Any reason for it?
Because he was just a big question mark. I had no idea what the hell he was doing out there. It was just, when he left, it was a question mark. So, bye.
Here's what he was doing out there. We needed center backs because we had none, and he was one, and he was playing, and we still needed him, and we still said bye-bye. We let him go, and we didn't replace him. Well, we did. We tried to with like Longmire and Nadam, but none of those really worked out. But there we go. That's our grades for this episode. We still have what? 15 more players to grade. So we're going to get there. I don't know what happened to Brad. Hopefully he's okay. Does anyone know? Has anything crazy happened in Vegas?
I had to go say goodbye to Grandma. Grandma was leaving for the airport at 9:30.
There we go. Let's do this really quick. Although we're a little bit past our time, there is sort of a important or somewhat important soccer thing going on right now. I don't know if y'all have heard of it. The World Cup. I don't know if y'all are following the World Cup right now, because I know it's sort of this controversial thing. Do we watch it? Do we not? Do we support it? Do we not? Do we cheer? Do we not? I'll admit I'm watching the World Cup. It's been fun. It's been exciting. There's been some great stuff. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to give each and every one of you an opportunity to share what's been your like favorite, most exciting, best part of the World Cup so far. Or if you want to say nothing, that's fine. Let me know. We'll go to you first, Mikey.
Probably the best I've had was probably today. I had a turkey sandwich during the first half, and then I fell asleep during halftime. That was awesome. I took about 2.5 hour nap. That was great.
All right, there we go. That's a very intimate story there for you, Mr. Mikey. Obviously this was like you fell asleep. You were watching whatever match. What was it? You were watching the Ecuador Senegal match? Fell asleep at halftime?
The US Iran match.
Oh, okay, that match. That also happened today. I forgot about that. Larry, World Cup, you're just share a moment or a thought or amazing thing about the World Cup.
You know, I didn't get off work until 1 o'clock today. I had the DVR set for the USA Iran game. I turned my phone off at 11 o'clock and I avoided all spoilers. I got home, I watched the game, and I got 3 words: Captain freaking America. Let's go. Oh, wait, that's 5 words. Never mind.
Probably damaged some important parts of the body there in that goal, but hey, we got that goal.
He scored it. He didn't get to celebrate it, but his teammates did, and America did as well. Let's go, Netherlands.
That goalkeeper's knee, man, that's a dangerous weapon there. Dylan, World Cup thoughts?
Yeah, but it worked for every single match that's happened. I'm not going to watch any of them, but I'm thrilled that Qatar lost. Love to see them doing horribly.
There you go. Taylor.
I agree. Absolutely amazing to see them doing horribly. It's very hard to be so excited about the games. I have like such fun memories of the World Cups. I was in Spain at like on the beach watching the game while they won in 2010. So like I just have such great memories of the World Cup, and it's kind of hard to be that excited about it now. But today was great watching the US win, and then I'll be keeping my eye on Spain too, because that's who I'm rooting for.
Let me just say this. I mean, props to all the people that are trying to sort of take a stance against it. I know there was a lot of the European teams that wanted to, but then FIFA said, "Oh, we're going to give you a yellow card," so they backed away. But then there was like, I believe, a field reporter from the UK that wore the armband. Even Kevin Baxter, who covers Orange County for the LA Times, he was there with his rainbow face mask, and they basically told him take it off, wear a plain blue one, and he said, "Okay, then I just won't wear a face mask to the matches." So props to all the people that are out there, at least trying to take a stand. I know it's difficult and it sucks when you're in a foreign country. You don't know what they're going to do to you when you're trying to do that, but there's a lot of brave people that are trying to still take stands and let it be known that they don't agree with it, which sucks. I'm in the same boat as probably most of you. It's difficult. I want to enjoy the World Cup, but then it's hard because of all the other stuff going on. But props to all the people that have been out there that have been trying to at least take stands and do so in the way that they can and feel comfortable doing. Also, what an amazing goal from Richarlison in that first Brazil match. That was probably like, that's going to be like a candidate for goal of the tournament already right there in the first match. Oh, and by the way, Spurs stole him from Everton. So I know Brad is excited about watching Richarlison be amazing. Yep, Dylan, I got Spurs in there. You knew it was coming. I had to get Spurs into this episode.
I had to come
Brad,
to that.
You don't get to explain your grades, but we need to get 2 grades from you because you somehow disappeared for a moment there.
Sorry.
So we need a grade from you from Olowski, the lesser of the 2 Olowskis, and also Hunter Gorski.
Ooh.
Sorry,
I forgot about the second player.
I'm never going to go meet Taylor in person again because she's just gonna pop cold cock right in my face right there with her fist for this. So I apologize, Taylor.
Since you took from my already minimal time, I'm gonna reclaim it.
Just 2 grades.
2 grades. One of them I'll give some reasoning to. For Brian, he's probably one of the last 3 players of the team that I will give a good grade to, and we still have more than a starting lineup to go. He definitely played very well. In the short time that we had him, he looked just like the player from last season in 21, and hopefully he continues next year fully healthy. I'll give him an A because he's earned it. For Hunter Gorski, how many minutes did he play? I forgot he was on the team. Like 0?
Over 800 minutes.
Over 800 minutes?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
He played more minutes with us than he did with Monterey Bay this season.
I don't have a grade to give.
If you can't
I can't remember
so
a single minute.
Instead of giving a grade, Brad, really quick, yes or no, was Brian Olowski the lesser of the 2 Olowski brothers?
You can't compare.
Thank you. Look at that. Perfect.
If he played a full 2,500 minutes, then we would have a beardless member of the podcast, and we would be able to compare. If they each played 2,500 minutes, I would offer a comparison.
Wait, Brad. If he would have played 2,500 minutes, would he have scored 22 goals and 4 assists?
He scored 4 and 1 in a quarter of the minutes. I think he's earned a good grade.
But he would not have scored 22 goals.
A quarter of the minutes?
Yeah.
He would have scored 16 goals. 16 goals.
So he would have been the lesser of the 2 Olowskis.
That's still second highest on the team.
I will shut up about this now, Taylor. I'll give you last. I'll let you go first on the random thoughts because of all this. Let's go to random thoughts. Taylor, what's your random thought?
Oh no, I didn't have one ready.
All right, here we go, Taylor. Think of a random thought. Dylan, you go.
Hey, it's pretty late in Giving Tuesday, but why not say no to some sales that probably aren't all that great anyway, and spend a bit of money improving our community. I like animal shelters, so OC Animal Rescue could always use some money or some time if that's easier for you, or if you got some old towels laying around or some dog food or something, you can help out. However, be a good person.
Be a great person.
Be a great person. Yeah, this reminds me of the former First Lady. Don't be good. Be best.
I like that pause. Mikey, your random thought for the episode. Apparently, Andy didn't like Dylan's quote there.
I was at the local thrift store and I came across a copy of Paperboy on Super Nintendo.
Now, you came across that cartridge, but do you have a Super Nintendo to play it on?
Yes, I do.
Oh, okay. Then that's awesome. That may be like one of the last 10 remaining working Super Nintendos in the world, and you have it. So,
oh no, there's a bunch. They're all over the internet.
Hey, I'm trying to upsell the value of your Super Nintendo in case you're deciding to sell it. Don't ruin the situation there. Larry, your random thought.
Too many random shootings going on. If guns make us safer, why isn't America the safest country on the planet?
All right, Brad. He's in the land of guns, so we'll find out what Brad has to say about that.
This isn't Texas. Uvalde.
It's Vegas. Come on. They advertise go and shoot like big gigantic guns on the billboards there.
I'm going to give a shout out to Olive and York for this awesome non-Nike jersey that they made. USA advances in the World Cup, and if there wasn't enough to complain about in the world, being someone who is Jewish myself, it sucks seeing the rise of anti-Semitism and the kind of normalization of it through figures like Kanye and the former President Trump and what happened at that dinner. Apparently it was nothing, but the fact that they had an audience was terrifying.
Isn't like the point guard for New Jersey Nets too, like is sort of been sharing some.
It's so prominent, and my favorite platform to talk to people on is not helping the scenario.
We love you though, Brad. We love you here at least. Oh, got to do the heart higher. There we go. There's the heart. We love you. Dylan, do you have a random thought?
You already went to me, but I'll just piggyback and we love you, Brad.
Taylor, what's your random thought?
Hate anti-Semites.
Okay. I mean, it's still soccer related, but it works. I think it's pretty cool that because of the equal like pay that the U.S. women's national team have been going for and got signed earlier in the year, they're getting money from the U.S. men's national team getting through, because now they're splitting World Cup money either way, and the amount that they will be getting for them getting through to round 16 is more than they received for winning both World Cups combined. So I think it just like goes to show like that how important that is and how much of an impact that's going to have on them being able to do that and like go Unions. That's how that works out.
There we go. My random thought, it's soccer related also. I want to just give love to the UC Irvine women's soccer team for making it to the third round of the NCAA tournament. They unfortunately lost to Alabama, but for being a smaller school and, making it, into the tournament in the first place. And it was a pretty decent match. And props to the goalkeeper. I wish I had the name ready for this moment here, but props to the goalkeeper for the Anteaters, Flo something or other. I can't remember her name. Darn it, I'm mad now. But she is the reason the Anteaters made it to the third round, not stopping one but two penalties in PKs after a full match and extra time to push the Anteaters to that third round. And they fought hard for about 60 minutes against Alabama, but unfortunately were knocked out there. But yeah, so that's what it is. Anything else anyone has to say before we wrap things up?
Peace and love.
Peace and love is correct there, Mikey. I love it. Props or thanks to everyone that actually listens to what we have to say. We appreciate it. If not, thanks to all of y'all for just talking soccer with us for a little bit here. Yeah, it's been awesome. We have another episode next week. We're going to do the rest of the player grades, and we'll try to get to coaching staff if we have time. I want to thank Brad, Dylan, Larry, Mikey, Taylor, and producer Andy. This is the Orange and Black Soccer Cast. We are out.